Yeah, we're back with the fourth segment of the Harry Thomas Show Week in Review. Today is Saturday, January 12th, 2008. I'm your host, Harry Thomas. The website is harrythomas.info. And every week I do four segments of a show and I document what has happened in the previous week of their push toward world government. And there is just so much information and so much stuff out there that it's impossible to cover it all. And I pick out a few articles and they're covered and all the information is up at the website. And this one came out January 9, 2008 by Aaron Dykes. The TTC maps detail infrastructure dismissed as conspiracy theory. A newly uncovered conceptual map reveals plans to pave a stretch of Trans-Texas Corridor 35 outside Waco over the rebuilt Church of the Branch Davidians, who were raided by ATF and FBI agents in '93, killing many of the church members. And if you remember your history, you'll remember that Janet the Butcher Reno sent the feds in there to massacre them people. And that is well documented in a film called Wake Up or Waco, where the federal government can just come in and kill people. Basically, if they don't like your idea, they don't like that you have a place of your own where you have a stockpile of weapons, they're just going to come in and kill you. I mean, that was documented in '93. And it says here that there's also a new railway system. To add insult to injury, they're going to come right through with this Texas Trans Corridor, right through Waco. Right over the sacred land, I would say, where them people were butchered and massacred, where a grassroots movement helped rebuild that church up there for them. And I'm not a Branch Davidian, and I don't uphold, any of their beliefs. But I believe everybody in America should be free to practice their religion and be freedom of speech, freedom to assemble and bear arms, and all of our constitutional rights. And when they start picking on one group, it doesn't soon end up being everybody. And this come out January 8th. U.S. plans outline a subsidized Pan-American highway. And this is U.S. Title Code 23, Chapter 2, provides for the construction and the maintenance of an inter-American highway program in cooperation with the governments of the American Republic in Central America, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, and Panama. Okay, now this is taxpayers' dollars, okay, for one of these superhighways. And this all has to do with world government. And if you don't think that elite globalists are trying to push a one world government, you need to get yourself informed and educated so that you can educate others and take action. The United States essentially pays for up to 1/3 of the total construction costs, depending on each nation's wealth. So if one of these nations are not as wealthy as others, it could be more than that we end up paying as taxpayers. This is just simply incredible. And this push for world government is well documented. I have all the information up on it at harrythomas.info, including Jerome Corsi's book outlaying the total plans for the North American Union. And Ron Paul has spoken out about this, and a lot of others have spoken out about this, including Lou Dobbs. This is just all part of their plan to set up the control grid in America. One of the ways they're doing this is Big Brother stuff. They're gathering data on everybody. They're setting up the police state in America. And this one came out by Brad Stone. AT&T and other ISPs may be getting ready to filter. And what this means is they're going to start playing traffic cop on the internet. All right? They're going to start sniffing around your digital packets looking for material and things that infringe on someone's copyright. Okay? So here we are. We already reported a few weeks ago about AT&T setting up these rooms where everything on the internet is just sucked into their, wherever they're keeping it, raw data of everything on the internet. And I don't know what they're doing with this information, but if the government's doing it, it cannot be good. Let me tell you, it is nothing but a Big Brother system. And they're coming after YouTube. And this has been well documented for a long time. They don't like what's going on at YouTube. And it's not just YouTube, it's everything. It's all kinds of places. On Tuesday, January 8th, 2008, in Middletown School in Rhode Island, they're opposing the monitoring of their students. Okay, and the ACLU the American Civil Liberties Union, is opposing this because they want to use RFID tags in these children. These are electronic chips. This is the first step of where Aaron Russo, in his talking with his friendship with Nick Rockefeller, and Nick Rockefeller told him about how their plans, the Rockefeller family, who are central bankers, international bankers, they're behind this push for one world government, and they want all of our children microchipped, okay? Like herds of cattle, like pieces of inventory. And if you don't believe me, you can go to the website. I've got the interview posted up under the media section. The full documentaries, all kinds of information. Check it out for yourself. And this just ain't right. The Rhode Island affiliate of the American Civil Liberties Union is calling on the Middleton School Department to drop its planned pilot program of a student tracking system that the ACLU says would treat children like cattle and violate their privacy. And this kind of stuff is happening all the time. Every week, every day, there's stories coming out about this stuff. And it's an attack on our children. The UN had just announced that they're putting out some more comic books, propaganda, trying to teach and mold the children that world government is good and that they should just go along with it and give up our sovereignty and give up our republic. I mean, this is an outrage. This is total treason. You know, and out of the John Birch Society, this one came out. The U.S. sets the standard in lack of privacy. And and this is it. We used to be a beacon of freedom, a beacon of hope for the world. And now we're setting the standard in Big Brother, in lack of privacy. And if you haven't read the book 1984, I implore you to read it. In fact, I'm going to make it available at the website, harrythomas.info, and you can check it out for yourself. And while you're at it, you can read Bev Harris's book about ballot tampering and vote fraud. I mean, come on. The wool is being pulled over to our face. And this is another one come out of the John Birch Society. The police break into a house to take a child to the ER. A family home was the scene of an unannounced police raid because the authorities suspected that the parents failed to provide proper medical care for their 11-year-old boy who suffered a head injury. And what happened here is this nosy neighbor seen the kid bump his head, didn't see the parents bring him to the hospital, and the police are banging in the door. In America! Come on, this is a police state. Ron Paul says our government does not own our children. The federal government does not own our children, the presidential candidate says on his website. Yet we act as if it does by letting them decide when, how, and what our children will learn. We have turned their futures over to lobbyists and bureaucrats, just like these ones out of the UN. Ron Paul was talking about homeschooling and homeschoolers.
And it's reassuring to know that we still have this freedom and this responsibility to our children, but we can't even take that for granted, because in the 1980s in Texas, homeschooling was severely challenged, and I believe the challenge will return if we are not careful. But today we are still fortunate. We can homeschool our kids, and we can.
And I mean, this is just simply incredible, and we can't stand for it anymore. Get yourself informed, get others informed, let them know about this show, let them know about other people who are getting the word out and fighting the info war, because together we will make a difference.